Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Kerr explains minutes strategy for Steph in Warriors' loss to Nets. In the Warriors' 128-120 loss to the Brooklyn Nets on Wednesday night, Steph Curry had a team-high 28 points in 29 minutes. However, Golden State struggled immensely with Curry off the floor, particularly during his regularly scheduled rest during the second half. As usual, Curry headed to the bench with 4:33 remaining in the third quarter and the Warriors leading by 9. When he checked back in at the 7:29 mark of the final frame, Brooklyn had taken the lead on a 25-11 run. Golden State was unable to reverse the momentum even with Curry's return to the floor. After the game, Warriors coach Steve Kerr was asked about Curry's playing time. The 36-year-old is averaging under 30 minutes per game this season. We usually pencil him in for 32 minutes, and we like to keep it around that number, Kerr told reporters at Chase Center. We were able to give him a good rest in the first half because the second unit was playing really well. I don't love to run him the whole fourth quarter and I like to have him close with some energy, and so that means if we can give him that last 8 minutes generally, I feel pretty good about that. But at that point, Brooklyn was rolling, and we couldn't slow them down. After all, that's the same strategy Kerr has used with Curry for the majority of the last decade which, of course, has worked pretty well. And despite the Warriors' current issues with closing out opponents in the second half, Kerr doesn't appear to be planning any significant changes to Curry's substitution pattern. However, if that trend continues, perhaps Kerr will adjust his rotations as he did during Golden State's 2021-22 NBA title-winning season. Warriors add major defensive boost in proposed trade scenario with Grizzlies. The Golden State Warriors have had an electric start to the season, sitting atop the Western Conference with a 12-4 record. Despite losing Klay Thompson in the summer, the Warriors made smart free agent moves to add multiple players as replacements to play one of the deepest rotations in the NBA with 12 players. Those plans were hurt after summer addition DeAnthony Melton was ruled out for the season with an ACL injury. The Warriors have been openly searching the trade market for additions to their roster, passing up trades for Paul George and Lauri Markkanen in the summer. The franchise is considered one of the most likely to make a move this season, and they could kickstart that by making a smart deal to address Melton's absence instead of forcing a move for a superstar-level player. This deal would see the Warriors send out a lot of premium second-round draft compensation along with multi-positional 3 and D threat Gary Payton too. Melton would essentially see the season out with injury on the Grizzlies before re-entering free agency next year after joining the Warriors on a 1-year contract this summer. This trade can't be executed before December 15th. The Golden State Warriors don't have an immediate need to make any trade given the high level the roster has been playing at. But their rotational production isn't consistent, as individual players can go through major swings, such as Buddy Hield. He started the season with 7 20-point outings in his first 8 appearances but hasn't scored more than 18 points in his 9 appearances since. Marcus Smart won't provide a high offensive baseline, but he'll guarantee excellent defensive output for however many minutes he spends on the court. He's averaging 7.4 points, 2.6 rebounds, and 3.7 assists this season, but Smart's value can never be captured in the box score. He'd be the Warriors' most reliable POA guard defender, allowing Draymond Green to be a free-roam help defender instead of taking on the number 1 perimeter option every offensive possession. The Warriors' offense bakes in great shots for Smart, who won't always make them consistently but enjoy good shot quality. Alternating him with Buddy Hield gives Steve Kerr the option to pick a defense-oriented lineup with Smart or an offense-oriented one with Hield. This would also begin streamlining the Warriors' rotation, with the team still unclear on who the team's full-time 2 guard will be after Melton's injury. Controversial trade proposal sees Warriors land former DPOY. The Golden State Warriors currently boast a top 5 defense in the NBA. After a strong start to the season, they sit atop the Western Conference. However, the front office will undoubtedly look for ways to sustain that hot start in the coming months. According to Colin Keane of Sporting News, former Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart could be a logical trade target. The Warriors could send Melton's expiring contract along with Kuminga's expiring contract over to Memphis for Smart. The money matches up perfectly, Keane reasoned. And since that isn't a fair deal for Golden State straight up, the Warriors could also ask for a first-round pick from Memphis, say, in 2028. Memphis would be turning Smart's contract into cap space for the upcoming offseason, and the Grizzlies could decide this summer if they want to use some of that money to retain either Melton or the rising star Kuminga, after having seen Kuminga on the roster for half a season or more. When healthy, Smart is arguably a top 3 defensive guard in the NBA. He's improved as a perimeter scorer in recent years and has significant postseason experience. Most importantly, though, he has shown he can excel as a lead guard. Keane's trade proposal to send Smart to the Warriors is built off Brady Siegel's reporting for Clutch Points. The emergence of Scottie Pippen Jr. and rookie Jalen Wells has league personnel wondering if the Memphis Grizzlies would consider moving former Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart, sources said, Siegel reported. Smart has one more year left on his contract after this season and occupies a near $20 million salary slot that the Grizzlies could utilize to add another high-profile player. Convincing the Warriors to part ways with Jonathan Kuminga will be difficult. He has emerged as a potential all-star of the future. However, he's in the final year of his rookie-scale contract and will become a restricted free agent in the summer. If the Warriors want to avoid a potential free agency saga, moving Kuminga could be the answer. Smart would instantly improve Golden State's rotation. He also fits the Stephen Curry and Draymond Green timeline. However, the Warriors would lose some of their explosiveness on the wing. Kuminga enjoyed a breakout 2023-24 NBA season. As such, he has high value around the NBA, thus making him the Warriors' biggest trade chip. It's unlikely the front office would be willing to lose him in a deal for Smart. Perhaps the Warriors' stance would be different if they were struggling on defense. However, Smart's value is somewhat redundant as one of the best rear-guard units in the NBA. Instead, the Warriors will likely look to keep Kuminga around for the long term. He's shown enough upside to persevere with his development. It won't always be pretty, but if Kuminga can continue his current progress, he will be a leading star in the future. Golden State has been straddling 2 developmental timelines for years now. It makes no sense to change course unless the return is a genuine superstar. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Marcus Smart? Leave your opinion in the comments.